Alright, so I'm just going to make this video real quick because this is way too much stuff to yap about over text, but this is just something that I've noticed. I don't know if you already knew about this, but this is just something that I've noticed. One thing that I've noticed that the two of my 2010 ravers have in common is that the try me button is hard to push down. Like, you really gotta squeeze it down in order for it to activate. So what I did originally to try to remedy this was take a graphite pencil and scribble on the bottom of the membrane here just to see if that'll make it like more conductive or whatever. And that helped a little bit, but it still wasn't as responsive as it should be. So what I did was, since I have all these extra buttons, because I have a bunch of parts grave ravers now, I harvested the parts from, I thought I'd take a 20, I thought the membrane would be the problem. So what I did was I took the 2010 button off and put it on a 2011 membrane. And I'm going to put it in. And I thought that would help because, well, it's a different membrane, so it must be better, right? But, nope. Still not as responsive as it should be. You still got to kind of squeeze it down a little bit. It's not as bad as the other one, but it's still not very responsive. So then I was like, okay, well, if it's not the membrane, then what the hell is it? So I just thought, out of curiosity, okay, let me try a different button. So I took the 2011 button and put it on the 2010's membrane, the original membrane, that I thought wasn't very good. And I put it in there, put the board in, and just by barely touching the button down, it's instantly way more reactive. And it's just so much more responsive. That's how it should be. So apparently, it's the button itself that makes the try me button hard to push down. And I came to that conclusion because if you take a 2010 button and a 2011 button and you put them side by side, I don't know how easy this will be to see over the camera, but you'll notice that the 2011 button is taller than the 2011. The 2010 button is taller than the 2011 button, meaning that the 2010 button has a little more depth to it. If it'll focus in, come on. The 2010 button has a little more depth to it, which I'm assuming means that it makes the membrane have to travel further down in order to be able to hit the little contact here. Whereas with this one being shorter, it doesn't have to travel as far down, and it pushes more into the contact here. So, yeah. And then I kind of looked more at these different buttons, and I never really realized how much of a difference all of these buttons have, how much the quality had dropped over the years. You'll notice that the plastic on the orange button just gets thinner and thinner over the years. This is a 2010, a 2011, 2012, and 2014. This one's the thickest one. This one's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit shorter. And then these two are just the cheapest ones. They're the most thin. And also, obviously, there's the differences in the silicone membranes as well. Right here. You'll notice, obviously, the most obvious difference is this one is red, this one's white. Okay, but this is the thickest. This one is made up of the thickest silicone. It's not as flexible as the other ones, but it's very thick. This one's obviously a white silicone. It's a little bit thinner. It's a little more flexible. But then we get into 2012 and 2014, and this is where they really started to kind of drop in quality a little bit. This one is significantly more thin and flexible than the 2011 membrane. And then this one is the clear silicone, which is just this is just so much more flexible and thin and cheap and flimsy. And anyways, yeah, I don't know if you've already known this, but this is just something that I've noticed that I just found out about by looking at all these different buttons. And so yeah, turns out the 2010 button itself is just less responsive than these three. So yeah. So if you have a 2010 Grave Raver that has a button that's really hard to push down, you just really gotta like squeeze on it in order to get it to activate, chances are it's not the membrane that's the problem, it's the button itself. So here this one is with its original button. And here it is with the exact same membrane, but with a 2012 button.